Hey guys, Chicago trucking accident lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and in today's video, the topic is I've been in a truck crash. What do I need to do? What do I need to know? Um, I've handled quite a few truck crash cases in my career. In some ways, they're not much different than a car accident case or a motorcycle crash or an SUV crash. But usually, when lawyers talk about a truck crash, they're talking about a commercial vehicle like a over-the-road trucker or a Pepsi truck or a city garbage truck, any large vehicle. So the first thing you need to know is that the basic rules of the road apply to trucks, but where the real money is proving the wrongdoing, not so much of the driver, but if you can prove the wrongdoing of the trucking company or the employer, that's where a lot of value in these cases is. And that's why it's important to talk to and work with a lawyer who's been around the block and knows how to handle these cases. So, for example, over the road truck drivers have strict limits about how many hours they can work and drive and how many hours they have to rest and how often they take breaks. And they're required to, they used to use paper logbooks. Some drivers still do. A lot of them are using fully electronic logbooks now. The next thing you need to know about truck crash cases is that they're required to carry a lot more insurance, right? So over the years, I've had a lot of my share of people who've been in a car accident with a broken bone or a neck surgery and permanent consequences. And the problem with those cases, you've probably seen in some of my other videos where I talk about a good case is good liability, meaning it was completely the other side's fault and not your fault, big injuries, and a lot of insurance or a rich company. Well, in a lot of motor vehicle crash cases, the limiting factor of how much money I could get you in a case is the fact that the person who ran into you is just a regular person. They don't have a bunch of money and they have low end insurance, right? So the state of Illinois has insurance limits of $25,000 per person. So, you could easily get hurt, have 50,000 in medical bills and only 25 in insurance coverage. Don't worry about it. I split it up and I put money in your pocket and make sure the bills get taken care of. That's a topic for another video. But the cool thing about a trucking accident case is that if, God forbid, you have a serious injury, it is a rich company or series of companies that they're $1 million companies, multi-million-dollar companies with $1 million and more of insurance. So where a driver of a car might have a 25,000 or a 50,000 or a 100,000, or if they're really rich, a 300, 500, or $1 million car insurance policy, trucking policies are usually at least 350 to half a million and are often $1 million or more. Now, that's key in a very serious injury case. And that goes into the next point I wanted to talk to you about, things you need to know if you've been involved in a truck accident. Trucks, and this is pretty obvious, trucks are massive, right? And they go just as fast as cars once they get up to speed. And if a truck runs into you, the sheer mass, so force is mass times velocity, right? So how heavy something is times how much speed it has, that's how hard it hits you, right? If you think about it, if like a 80 pound 80 pound 11-year-old girl punches you versus a 300-pound man punches you, even if they're going the same speed, the 300-pound man's force causes a lot more damage. So that's the thing, is that amount of force can cause catastrophic injuries in trucking accident cases, and it often does. Like many trucking cases, far more than like a car crash or other types of injuries, result in permanent and often catastrophic injuries, including paralysis and death, or multiple surgeries, or injuries that never quite heal right, that result in somebody who's the breadwinner for their family not being able to work anymore. So, with all of this in mind, what I'm going to tell you, and I know it sounds self serving because if you're watching this, I'm an injury lawyer and I represent injured people and I make my money by getting truck accident cases and representing the people and fighting for them and getting them every penny the law says they deserve. But I'm really being honest with you, whether it's me or someone else, the best thing you can do in a truck crash case, as soon as you are involved in it, is to pick up the phone and call a good, honest injury lawyer who talks to you, who you like, who calls you back, and who has experience in these kinds of cases. I'll just give you a one for example, okay? One, for example, is some lawyers don't know to ask for the logbook data. Some lawyers are not familiar with the additional safety rules that trucks, federal regulations that trucks have to comply with. And in front of a jury or in front of an insurance adjuster, if you can show that a federal safety rule was not followed and it resulted in the crash, boy, you just turned a run-of-the-mill case into a really strong case, a really valuable case. Um, the other thing is, a good attorney involved early on is going to be able to do research and discover all of the defendants. Why is that important? Well, I'll give you an example. Let's say, God forbid, you are hit by a truck and the police report lists an insurance policy that's, let's say, $350,000. But God forbid, let's say you broke a leg and had back surgery and you can't return to work, okay? Or you have to like go back to school to learn how to do something else because with the broken leg and the bad back, you're never able to do, let's say you're a plumber or whatever, right? Um, that 350 gone like that, right? Because if you've got $250,000 in medical bills and multiple surgeries, and then you just lost $130,000 a year income as a plumber, and you have another 20, 30 years to work in your career, that adds up really quick, and 350 doesn't begin to compensate you for that loss, right? So that's why having a lawyer investigating all the defendants, right? So there's a concept in law called agency law, and there's ways to get like a trucking company and the various other allied companies and the dispatching company. So why is that important to get more defendants involved? Because if one of those trucking companies has 350, it might be that the dispatching company has 1 million, and it might be that another company has another 1 million. So now we took a case where the most you could get was 350 that didn't even really begin to compensate you for your injuries, and we turned it into a case where there's 2.35 million collectible. And that's what a good lawyer who knows what he's doing can do for you. So my best advice for you is talk to a lawyer right away. Do not delay getting medical care. And if your doctor is hostile and is not addressing your concerns, find a doctor who you can trust. But definitely talk to a lawyer. And for today's video, that's all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. I hope you and your family are well. But if you or a loved one or anyone you know has been involved in an accident, especially a trucking accident, please do not hesitate to call. It's always free to call me. And you can reach me day, night, any day of the week, any time of day, 24/7, 365 at 312-500-4500. That's 312-500-4500. Happy to answer your questions, whether you have a case or not. But if you have a case, I'd be happy to talk to you about representing you. So a lot of people aren't ready to talk to a lawyer, so I made 2 really cool tools that are on my website. I'll leave the links in the description. One is called the Case Cash Calculator. The other one is called the Good Case Calculator. They tell you what your case might be worth, and the other one tells you whether you have a good case or whether you might have a case with some challenges, right? The best part of them is that they're free and right on my website, so you or anyone you send over there can use them for free, no obligation. And the second best part is it takes 10 or 20 seconds to answer very simple multiple choice questions, and then you get your answer. No attorney to talk to, no obligation, no charge. So links in the description there. If you enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified when I shoot a new video. And last thing is, I'm in a very competitive market, so if you like my information, my attitude, and the help that I give to injured people for free, if you could do me a favor, I'd really appreciate it. Leaving a link in the description, all you have to do is cut and paste that into a web browser on your phone, tablet, or PC. Takes you right to my review page on Google. Please click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. Literally takes you 5 seconds, but it would be an invaluable favor to me that I would really appreciate. So if you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. Other than that, I hope you and your family are well. If I can be of assistance, please reach out anytime, 312 500 4500. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.